Welcome to the Busy Girls Book Club. Since our thing is bringing you opinions on all of the internet's most popular books, we kind of figured we would bring y'all a little update on the latest book news that has taken over Book Talk from one of our favorite authors. I'm Catherine.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Casey. So the whole Book Talk world is absolutely buzzing because Sarah J. Maas went on the Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper and announced that the next 2 ACOTAR books will be coming out in the next year. Maas said the next 3 books in the series will all follow the same story, with each book featuring different quote-unquote parts of the story, perhaps broken up via POV. We don't know. She said it's not a trilogy, but more like a 4-part story split into 3 books.
So we get no names yet, but we get ACOTAR 6 on October 27th, 2026, and that will be part 1. Then we get ACOTAR 7 on January 12th, 2027, and that's supposed to be part 2 and part 3 combined. And then ACOTAR 8 is like in the works and is part 4, but that date's not announced. But that's a lot of book. And Bloomsbury, the publisher, in a comment on Instagram, confirmed that it's not like final, but right now ACOTAR 6 is running 352 pages. Very reasonable. But ACOTAR 7 is running a whopping 928 pages for those 2 parts.
So both of those are officially confirmed because it's on the pre-order website for Bloomsbury.
Okay, because in the comments when I first saw it, it said like not super official, but
no, that's like it's on their website now. When you pre-order the book, these
official,
are the page
official
counts.
now. Well, we're in for a biblical epic in the ACOTAR 7.
Yes, and we don't know the title of the books yet or who the main characters will be, but it's a highly anticipated installment of the series since we haven't had an ACOTAR book since what, 2019 or something. 2020 maybe.
Yes. I'm trying.
It's been a while.
I was still reading them when Silver Flames came out.
Like, yes.
I had to wait for Silver Flames. I'm old.
Yes.
I've wondered. So I know that I don't think this has ever been said officially, and I'm probably just wildly speculating for no reason here. But because SJM has been so tentative about confirming that Throne of Glass is over, I wonder if this book includes Throne of Glass characters.
So she did kind of get asked that on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Yeah. And she said, I'm never going to say that the Throne of Glass characters like won't show up, but she kind of alluded to the fact that they won't show up in this series, in these next few books, but she's like, never say never. So from how I took her podcast interview, she said, like, I love these characters. I love their story. Obviously, the worlds are connected, but it didn't seem like she was trending towards that direction for this next 3 books.
Okay, so here's a question. So the last book that came out was Crescent City 3, which in our opinion was a huge flop. But that's where the universes really start crossing over. So we got like a Crescent City ACOTAR crossover. 2 questions. Do you think Bryce will appear in the ACOTAR books? The second question, do you think someone needs to read Crescent City before jumping into the next 2 ACOTARs?
Absolutely. You need to read Crescent City because I feel like Crescent City 3 will directly impact ACOTAR 6.
But also it sucked.
I know, but like, I feel like the stuff that happened in Crescent City 3 obviously will have an impact on ACOTAR 6 because now they know about the Dust Court. Now they know about how the prison was set up.
Yeah. There's a lot of theories. Briaxis theories.
Is a woman. Briaxis is a woman. The fear god is a woman. She said
Hunt and Bryce are end game.
Yeah.
So there's no Azriel Bryce, which I thought that anyway.
I'm not shipping Azriel Bryce, but I am shipping Bryce with someone else.
There is a new ship for Azriel Lucian.
Yes.
Loki, though, I would kind of be into that.
Yeah.
Hated rivalry influencing anyone?
Free Elaine from the 2 the 2 sad ones.
Theory that Moore is an Iron Teeth witch.
Okay.
There's theories that Mama Archeron comes into play somehow.
That'd be cool.
There's theories that the Asteri created the Illyrians.
Okay.
We got a lot to work with.
Yeah.
That's what my TikTok has been.
Yeah. What are y'all thoughts on this kind of like 4-part, 3-book series that she was very adamant that this is not a trilogy? It's one story that is being split up into 3 books. I have a feeling Casey has opinions on this.
What would make the most sense would be Elaine's story, correct?
Yes, I think.
But I don't know if I need 4 parts of the most boring Archeron sister.
I don't think all of the books, like my sense of her splitting them up like this means that there have to be different POVs that are like the most important to each book. So, I mean, that could mean Feyre, Elaine, and Nesta each have their own book, and it's all about them as sisters. Or I think it makes more sense that other characters from other series are brought in some way. I am not
a more book.
I don't necessarily hate splitting up the books this way because I think if what you're changing is POV, it's okay to bring it out into a different book. I think if that's not the difference and this is just sort of arbitrarily split, I'm going to be pissed. But I am going to withhold judgment until I read them.
I think you're going to be pissed.
Kingdom of Ash, just think about how she's done it before.
So
Crescent City 3, they're all multi-POV mega books.
So she kind of touched on that in the Call Her Daddy podcast, where she was talking about how she was doing rewrites for Kingdom of Ash when she was pregnant with her first child. And while she was on, I think, maternity leave, like 1 week at postpartum, her publisher said, we need to cut 50 pages or 5 pages from the book. And so she had to go through and rewrite basically Kingdom of Ash to cut 5 pages because there was not enough glue in the publishing house to put together that large of a book. And so she
a drama queen for that.
Yeah. And then the publisher came back and said, never mind, we figured it out. And she was crying, sobbing.
Well, people think that maybe this took so long because she might be having beef with Bloomsbury.
Well, she kind of said that there wasn't enough glue to put together this full story. And that's why it's split up into multiple books.
I mean, they did it for Sanderson.
Yeah, okay, so my take is that Crescent City 3 needed a way heavier edit than it got. And so if this book is huge just because she's being resistant to edits, I'm going to be mad.
However, I like the characters in this series better, so.
I do. I like this series overall more, which is why I feel like I'm going to wait to judge until I actually read the books. But y'all know how I feel about really long books and really long series. Every page had better be worth it. So, and Crescent City 3 did not make me optimistic about that.
Well, thankfully, the first book of this series is short.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just going to make us all like anxious until we get the next one.
I'm sure it ends on a cliffhanger because why wouldn't it?
Right.
But also, did you guys watch the Call Her Daddy podcast or no?
No, only clips. I don't have enough patience to sit and watch a podcast. Sorry.
That's fair.
As I podcast.
Yeah.
I need the highlights. I don't listen to Call Her Daddy in general.
I will say listening to her and her talking about the struggles she had postpartum and that her doctor like butchered her, like literally butchered her, like did a C-section lazily so that her scar went all the way up her stomach.
I know, and now I have to like not hate Silver Flames as much.
Yes.
I don't hate Silver Flames, but it is my least favorite.
So she wrote it from her own perspective about her traumatic birth experience.
The part I actually don't like, so now I can't hate on it so much.
I was like, that book is perfect except for that part.
Oh yeah. No, she talked about, because like Alex Cooper straight up asked her, like, there's a lot of contention about Feyre's pregnancy and how Rhys was kind of a terrible person for not telling her about the traumatic birth. And she was just like, Rhys is a human, or like Rhys is like fallible. He's human. And he was just so desperately trying to find a way to save her without stressing her out with something that she loves so much. And she wrote a lot of that interactions because of the interaction she was having with her doctors, with her husband. And it made me hate the Feyre pregnancy less because it was her own experience kind of written into it. And she was very emotional about the very traumatic experience of having a child and then having a child after that child. And finally getting a doctor who's a woman who actually trusted her. Her first doctor was a man. Mistake number 1. but who literally looked at her and saw her scar from her C-section and said, I am so, so sorry. No human should have done this to you. Any doctor worth their salt should have never done this. He was just lazy, and you deserve the largest apology. And so it made me definitely feel differently about Silver Flames.
Wow. Well, I guess I'll excuse it. I'm still not happy about it just because it's an adventure book. I don't need a baby.
Yeah, I'm like, it's okay if our female heroines don't get wifed down. Like, we just don't have to have that when they're like 23. But anyway, I am sorry to hear about her real life story because I know that happens to a lot of women and it's not okay.
Yeah. I was on a different note. Another funny TikTok trend to come out of all of this is there's this guy who's been like pretending to be a publisher, and he'll be like, all right, guys, we got a new ACOTAR book. All right. Matt Dinniman, where you at? Another one coming out, whatever. Pierce Brown, still 0 words on Red God. Cool. Brandon Sanderson. And he's like, I'm writing a book for every fantasy reader. Literally every one of them. And then they're like, George R.R. Martin. And he's like, so have you seen my new show? So basically all the like anticipated releases, people are like, come on now, the girlies are getting theirs. Where's ours?
Yeah, period.
But they're pretty spot on little, they're good.
Right. Okay. Well, do you guys have a hunch of who the main characters or main focus of the story will be, or the main villain?
I think it's definitely going to be Elaine, mostly, just because like she has a mate, but like even SJM said during the interview with Call Her Daddy, sometimes mates are mistakes and that nature fucked up. And so I'm thinking nature fucked up because she called Lucian, like Elaine seeing Lucian for the first time, this is the guy who helped kidnap her and turned her into this. Why in the hell would she ever love him?
It's true.
I'm going to root for more.
More would be good too.
Also, don't forget we got Gwen and
Azrael?
No. Who's the other girl? Gwen and
from Nesta's girl group.
We got the Valkyries hanging out.
Yeah.
That's true. I think Nesta will be a crucial part of the story for sure.
I think so. Her story wasn't done.
No.
I do think Elaine is currently the most boring person. And I can understand, like, if these books are all really about her kind of, you know, being almost like a redemption arc or like an arc that, you know, is significantly different for Elaine. And we get that growth because I don't think anyone anticipated Nesta's book being as good as it was. And I know not everyone loved that book, but
I still liked it. It had a lot of good things. It should have been 2 books.
Right.
But I do like each of like Feyre and Nesta each had this like mental health journey depicted in the books. And so it's only fair Elaine gets hers now too, as someone who is very obviously struggling with depression. So
right. And, you know, I would love queer Elaine. It would make her more likable. Just
Elaine and Moore, is that what you're shipping?
Yeah, that's what I
win.
And then Azrael and Lucian, let's just make it a gay book.
Yes. I'm so here for this.
It's possible. She kind of gets called out for being anti-gay sometimes, but just because that representation is like sort of in there, which I think is fine in my opinion. But
look, I don't care. I feel like it makes me sound like a conservative when I say this, but not every book has to be a representation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. It's like it's fine.
It's a straight book. It's fine. Like
straight people tend to write straight books. Okay.
Right. Let's elevate queer authors. Let's not force every story to be about gay people. Anyway, I am mostly interested in the villain, I think. I think I could fall in love with any main character because I think SJM will do them justice. For me, it's who's the villain. And that, I'm not really sure.
I think it's Koshi, the guy at the lake who turned the queen into a firebird.
Still we don't know much about. Kind of confused about that sitch. May need to refresh myself on that one.
That's what I'm like. I'm like losing some of the finer points.
I wouldn't have been able to pull that name out of my mind.
Oh, I Googled it.
I was like, I remember that there was that one guy who was like the big bad over there that we don't know anything about.
We're done with the king. We're mostly done with the queen. Mostly.
Yes, we're done with her. She died.
And with him, they imply a more of like a global conflict. Like there's more countries and parts of this world that could be involved, possibly parts of other worlds, which obviously is like hashtag crossover. Maybe he's some like head Asteri or something.
That would be cool. Or like the veil between the worlds is thinning really a lot. That would be kind of cool to like see people fall into the world.
Right.
Amryn bringing out like a kind of side of the world because she fell through the world as well.
Someone
and she's
had a
hiding
hand on
shit.
her,
She's
I'm
hiding
trying to
shit.
remember. Yeah.
You know what else I would love? I would love a main character, Amryn.
There was a theory about her that was fun. I don't know if it was a good theory, but it was fun, and now I can't think of it. Maybe she was in a theory? I don't know.
I could believe that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other weird theories floating around in general for SJM. Some people think Kale made the drop in Throne of Glass.
Oh God.
Okay.
They think Briaxis and the Bone Carver and whatever the other person is, maybe like the Three Fates.
I love that Briaxis is a woman and that she only was scaring the shit out of Cassian and men, but was totally chill with all of the women in the library.
It makes sense now. I never really thought of a gender, but like it makes sense now.
I never thought of her as a gender. Yeah, no,
I thought of it as a void, essentially.
Yeah. Right.
Fear itself is a woman. And I'm like, period.
Right.
Well, it also fits with like the mission of the library to sort of be like a home for violated women, that this sort of monster who like haunts it and terrorizes men is, you know, a woman kind of looking out for other haunted women. So
yeah. I mean, you've got connections potentially between like Rune and some of the men in Akatar. There's another one. My TikTok. Guys, thank you for reviving my fantasy TikTok with these new theories. It's been a fun place. You've got Lydia and Bryce being related, and maybe there's someone in the other world.
Lydia and Aelin being related.
Aelin, that's what I meant. Sorry, not Bryce. Bryce isn't that badass.
No, she's just a glow stick on steroids.
Yeah, her powers are so strange. That's okay.
The coolest thing she did was use a vacuum, let's be honest.
Yes.
Still the most iconic scene, probably.
That's what I don't know where we go from the whole Buzz Lightyear in space thing.
Yeah.
I really don't know where we're going now. It was all I could think about was Buzz Lightyear.
Well, thankfully, like the Akatar world is less high tech, so we shouldn't have Buzz Lightyear in space anymore.
No, but that was crossed over. I was like, what? Anyway, they're probably all in the same like system anyway, like universe. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it because it is so like medieval fantasy. That's my favorite kind of fantasy. I'm sorry, I'm just a girl.
Same.
I'm just a girl.
Right. As it is. Well.
So, okay. Well, I'm excited. The Akatar books are the entire reason the three of us are friends. Like literally, because I was reading Silver Flames at my desk and they were like, "What you reading?" And I was like, "Oh my God, my interns caught me reading smut." Just kidding, they weren't my interns, but
yeah, I mean, we kind of were.
We kind of were your interns.
Yeah.
They were my little fellows I had to teach.
Yeah.
Even though I was like 2 years older than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were basically the team lead at that point, effectively. And we were the little babies who had just joined, and
very smut was my coping mechanism at that point. So I was happy to share the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, it was the one book that was smutty.
Yes.
Yeah. It could have been any of the other ones, but no, it was Silver Flames that had just come out.
What you reading? Oh, you know.
I remember you two. Like, I can picture you two walking up to me and grinning at me, and I was like, oh. Anyway, that's what sealed the friendship. And to start this podcast, because we missed sharing books.
Yeah.
So now we get to do the next books together.
This is our first Akatar book together. But they are both available for pre-ordering. So I know I will be doing that pretty soon, as I'm sure y'all will both be sometime in the near future.
asked my sister if she wanted to go to another weird ass Barnes and Noble midnight release party because we did that for the last fourth wing and it was weird but so cute.
Are you going to?
I don't know. She was like, maybe.
Yeah.
You can just go by yourself.
No, because we legit had to just sit around a Barnes and Noble for a long time, which like bummer. But I'd need a friend.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Get Caitlin to join you.
She hasn't read them.
Oh, right.
I guess her husband.
He's read like one of them.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, we will definitely be reviewing the books on the podcast. So you guys can pre-order now and read along with us, or you can wait to hear what we think. SJM has not been universally loved by us in the recent history, though she is one of our most beloved authors collectively. So stay tuned. And with that, I'm Casey.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Caitlin. Thanks for listening. And when you get a chance, take a break with the Busy Girls Book Club.